If you text or email someone overseas, there is a good chance the government is combing through what you've written. Today's New York Times first reported today that the government spying is possibly more pervasive than we actually thought. The Times says NSA computers are searching texts and emails going in and out of the country. They're looking for certain words, looking for information on suspected terrorists. The government already acknowledged that it monitors suspects' communications, but according to the New York Times, most every text or email that crosses the U.S. border is searched for key words. So with that said, joining me now from New York, CNN legal analyst Sunny Hostin, and from Los Angeles, Darren Kavanaugh. So, Sunny, let me just add one more thing. This is what we just got from Barbara Starr from the Pentagon, from a source close to the program. It also allows collection and monitoring of content based upon these two things. So it's about a location overseas that's already been identified to being of interest, or two, triggers key words like a foreign email address or words in that content. That said, if the Times has this whole story right, how much bigger than we thought is the government spying program?
You know, I think it's unclear, quite frankly. I mean, we've been talking about this issue for several years, maybe about 4 or 5 years, and it's unclear what the legal analysis is at this point. We don't really know whether or not this is bulk collection, whether or not they're looking at it sort of retroactively almost. Are they studying the information? Do they get it in bulk and then look at it last year's and compare it to this year's? So we really don't know. But I think really the issue here is, of course, people are concerned about their privacy rights. Of course, they're concerned that their constitutional rights are being trampled on. But the other thing you have to balance that against is this a minimal burden to protect our country from terrorism? Mm-hmm. And so I think that's really a balancing act. And again, we don't really know, because the government hasn't told us what the legal basis is for allowing this thing to go on.
Right. I mean, I hear you laughing, Darren, and I know we hear from folks who are in the know saying absolutely it's thwarted terrorist attacks. At the same time, members of Congress have said, show me. I haven't seen that.
Right, and I think, like so much, well-intentioned, and the question's going to be, how is it in the execution? Because if you're like me, if you've got nothing to hide, my email, my text, they're pretty boring stuff. Here's the real problem, is we don't know where this ends, and we know that in the policies that we're targeting people that are on foreign shores. Mm-hmm. But we have these policies that say, well, we may be targeting them, and we need to target at least one participant who's not in the United States. But what we really want is we want the juicy stuff on the people that are in the United States. So we're creating these policies that allow us to circumvent and narrowly tailor it so we can get to the good stuff that we want without a warrant. Because generally speaking, when we're going to be tapping into people that are in the United States, we need a warrant. So at the end of this, Brooke, the concern is, does this put us on a slippery slope where people's privacy rights, where their constitutional rights get eroded, and we really don't have all the information? That's the scary part.
Well, we heard from the president speaking publicly about this after this whole Ed Snowden, story broke, saying, hey, that at least we're having this conversation. This is an intelligent conversation we're having about privacy rights, and that he is open to realistic changes. What changes, Darren, I'm just going to go back to you. What changes would you like to see to these surveillance programs that we've been learning a bit about?
Yeah, it starts with as much transparency as can be had without thwarting the fundamental mission, which is discovering terrorism, right? This is all about protecting folks and keeping them safe.
Right.
But it can't be done with these super secret meetings and super secret policies. And the New York Times article really points that out, that a lot of the stuff is on the super secret.
Okay.
Well, and it's supposed to be super secret because it's surveillance.
Right.
And so
I
think we want transparency. But again, I think as Americans, we also, and as lawyers, of course, we have to think about the balancing test. Okay. Yes, there are constitutional rights and privacy rights, but isn't perhaps that a minimal burden to bear when you're talking about our right to protect ourselves?
Okay, got to leave it there, guys. Got to leave it there. See you next hour. Darren Kavanaugh and Sunny Hostin. I apologize. I know we could go on. Thank you both very much.